To our exclusive story tonight, we can reveal that football's governing body, FIFA, extended an invitation to the Taiwanese President Tsai Ing-wen to attend the Women's World Cup final in Australia this weekend. But she won't be attending, despite indicating to us that she supports feminism and female sport. So the question is, why is she not attending? We were able to confirm that FIFA did invite Tsai Ing-wen, Taiwan's first female president, to the Women's World Cup finals. And it seems she would have been thrilled to attend. We asked the Taiwanese embassy why she's not coming and what involvement the Australian government had in that decision. A Taiwanese embassy spokesman told us in a statement that they share in the joy of the Matildas' success and they're looking forward to tonight's semi-final. They said, and I quote, "The FIFA Women's World Cup presents an opportunity to celebrate women's achievements in sports and to enhance positive change both in women's football and gender equality. Taiwan holds the distinction of being the first Asian nation to legalise same-sex marriage and is committed to advancing gender equality and women's empowerment under the leadership of Madam Tsai Ing-wen, the nation's first female president. We will continue to pursue broad engagement with like-minded countries toward these goals." The embassy continued in their statement to point out that other Taiwanese ministers were making international visits. They said, "We maintain very close communication with Australia and other democratic partners to uphold shared values and make all visits fruitful and successful." Well, we asked Foreign Minister Penny Wong's office why the Taiwanese president wouldn't be attending, given she's clearly expressed an interest in female sport and has sent her congratulations to the Matildas. And, as we said, FIFA did invite her to the final. Well, DFAT told our investigations producer Dom Vukovic, and I quote, "FIFA invitations to World Cup matches are a matter for FIFA. We value our deep and productive unofficial relationship with Taiwan, consistent with our long-standing bipartisan One China policy." They said Australia continues to support Taiwan's meaningful participation in international organisations as a member where statehood is not a prerequisite and as an observer or guest where it is. It's understood that Taiwan ultimately declined the invitation to attend the FIFA World Cup final. The Australian government says it had nothing to do with this. But when we went back and asked the Taiwanese embassy two very simple questions. Firstly, did the president want to come to the World Cup final? And secondly, who told the president that she wasn't welcome? Well, the embassy replied with this to say: "We truly appreciate your inquiries regarding the invitation and the proceedings. We believe FIFA or the Australian authorities would be in a better position to answer." This is a very telling answer. Taiwanese embassy saying clearly FIFA or the Australian authorities would be in a better position to answer why their president wasn't able to attend the World Cup women's final this weekend. Clearly, Taiwan wanted to attend the World Cup final. They were invited to attend, and then it all fell apart, with the Taiwanese embassy telling us FIFA or the Australian authorities would be in a better position to answer why the president isn't coming. Now, why does this actually matter? Well, Taiwan is in the very vulnerable position of facing an imminent threat of invasion by China. Chinese President Xi Jinping has made it clear reunification with Taiwan is his lifelong goal, and he said he intends for this to happen by 2027. National security figures, however, say that this invasion could happen in a much tighter time frame, even in the next 2 years. Australia and the United States and our allies have indicated we would be prepared to step in to help defend Taiwan should China take such an aggressive action. Yet, at the moment, Anthony Albanese is tiptoeing around China, trying not to upset the authoritarian regime. ahead of his anticipated trip to Beijing later this year. Had the Taiwanese president attended the World Cup final, that could have impacted the delicate diplomatic negotiations trying to make Albanese's meeting with Xi happen. Senior lecturer in Chinese studies at the University of Tasmania, Mark Harrison, confirmed that it would have impacted Albanese's potential visit to China. He said Beijing would have recognised the precedent set by an international visit by a Taiwanese president for a major world sporting event and would have strenuously objected to the Australian government. Relations between Australia and China remain balanced, and there would have been diplomatic fallout, including for the Prime Minister's proposed visit and for the trade restrictions China has in place. But the question is Australia putting too much stock in the China relationship to ensure that China rolls out the red carpet for Albanese? Here's what Chairman of the China Select Committee in the United States, Republican Mike Gallagher, had to say about this softly approach in our sit-down interview. There are concerns here as well that we're not standing up enough to China as we were.
Yeah, I call this zombie engagement because it's a revival of a policy that's failed for 20 years. We thought it was dead and buried, and now it's rising from the grave. And I think it's built on a series of naive assumptions about how Marxist Leninist regimes operate. And there's sort of a paradox at the heart of regimes like this, which is they grow more aggressive as they grow more comfortable. So they interpret our olive branch as an invitation to aggression.